And this is a quick recap of the World Championship match. 3-3, you can see the score is even. How do we get there? A quick but important recap on the match. And in game number 1, Nepomniachtchi played the right Lopez. However, he did not achieve anything because he tried a sideline. And here, instead of playing d3 or rook e1, he took on c6 and then prepared this d4. But the game ended in a draw. It was a very peaceful first game. In game number 3, Nepomniachtchi opened with 1d4. And we're going a Queen's Gambit, Carlsbad structure. The Carlsbad structure is when you have a minority attack. You can attack here with 2 pawns versus 3 over here. Now, the game went on and it was an eventful game again. Nepomniachtchi tried to play e4 here, but Ding was prepared. And at the end of the day, the position was dead equal. The repeated move, nothing to do. Another draw. And in game number 5, once again, Nepomniachtchi returns to 1e4, but this time he produces an amazing game. He goes from the main line, so he did not take on c6, and the game went on. He had the position prepared until around move 20, and now the knight on f1 gonna come to e3, jump to d5, or jump to f5, and black could not handle that attack. Now he's doing h5. Why is Ian Nepomniachtchi playing h5? That's because at some point the knight gonna jump here, and black cannot play g6 because you would take on h6. So let's see how the game unfolds. This was all preparation, and now knight f5. And you can see that in this position, if g6 is played, boom, you're taking there. And now, this looked dangerous for black. The right move was f6. But Ding exchanged a pair of knights and thought it would be secure. But what's happening here? Black has a bishop on b6. He's trying to target that diagonal. But white has a plan. He's going to put all the pieces on white squares. And then that black bishop is going to be less dominant than the knight. Let's see. Queen e4 on a white square. Rook e2. Now, these rooks and queen on a white square. Now, g4, putting all the pawns protected on white squares so that bishop doesn't have any attacking role. Queen d5, another move on the white squares. King f1. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Almost everything is on white squares, and that means total domination. Rook e4. Another move on the white squares, and that's how black gets constrained. And now we're ready for the kill. g5, excellent move. And now what black missed? Black was trying to defend g5, and f6 would be the move. But the brilliant move is knight h4, threatening knight g6, checkmate. If you take the knight, h6. And if you take, this is a quick checkmate. And if you don't take on h6, then rook g7, followed by queen g8. As you can see, everything was done to be on the white squares. And when you have everything on the white squares, you are dominating the black position. Total control and an amazing win against Ding Liren. Note as well that a knight on f5 is a very dangerous piece because it can jump like that. And black didn't have any real attack with bishop f2. So that was clearly positional win by Nepomniachtchi. But now what's amazing, if you look back at the scoreboard with 3 points each, you can see that Ding Liren lost the first game with white, but then won game 4 and game 6. So let's go to his 3 decisive games. And in game number 2, Ding Liren started with 1d4. They also played a queen's gambit position. h3, very odd, no more ruby. g3, or 9c3, or bishop g5. h3, very odd move. And in this position, Ding had to take here. And that would be about an equal position. And this position is completely equal. Instead, he tried to go for more and not taking on c5, taking on f6. And here, Nepomniachtchi with black take with the pawn here, doubling the structure. The game goes on, rook g8. Black is smelling danger, is attacking on the g5, and here, long castle. Such an aggressive play by the Russian player. And of course, f5, you don't want to open like that because you have this absolutely crushing attack. So the game goes on, but here f6, and if you take on h7, bishop c5, you have these two bishops, and they are deadly here. So the game went on, and with the sack, and these two bishops are crushing. And Ding lost very quickly, c3, here c2, trying to promote on c1, queen h6, and e5. What resigns simply, if you try to move the rook, boom, there's a new queen for black. So here, very aggressive play, long castle, rook g8, Ding Liren, preparation, backfire. h3, we won't see that move again for a long time. In game number 4, Ding Liren had the white pieces again, and this time try the English opening. So they keep changing opening to try to surprise the opponent. That's very expected in a world championship match. So now this is kind of a complex positions, and Ding play very aggressively with c5, and then taking charge in the center of the board. As you can see, these two pawns create a lot of pressure for black. And in this position, Ian Nepomniachtchi played very quickly and blundered. He played 94, attacking the queen. What he had to do first in g5, defending the pawn here, and everything is fine for black. Instead, he went 94, and here very quickly, Ding Liren takes, and he's gonna recapture on d4. But that knight is jumping everywhere. And the game continued. Knight f5. Once again, when you put the knight on f5 for the white pieces, this is very strong. Black is passive, cannot do anything. And here, boom, you can recapture the rook and you're winning. So here, rook d1 created rook d8 threat, and this is game over. Nepomniachtchi tried to maintain the game, and here, brilliant finish. Queen f8. Obviously, if you take, I'm gonna take back and make a queen or a knight. It's winning. And if I take the pawn here, rook e1, skewer, win the game. So you can see here, one careless move, and boom, with a knight jumping around, this was absolutely crushing. And very convincing play by Ding Liren. Let's see another game. And in game 6, Ding Liren is trailing by a point. And once again, he opened with d4, going back to that opening. But he doesn't play c4 to transpose into a queen's gambit. He played bishop f4, the London system. And here, Ian Nepomniachtchi was prepared and played very quickly. Now this position looks very simple, but Ding Liren will outplay his opponent. Nepomniachtchi says, this is my worst game I played in a long time. So rook e1, and now knight e5. Well, the idea, well, obviously black cannot take because I'm gonna have a fork over here. And what does white want to do? Very simple. I want to take here, play b4, a4, knight b3, and knight c5. So the game went on, and a6 was not a good move. Why is that? Because now you play a5. And what's the idea? Again, I'm going to try to play b4, rook c1 or rook a3, knight on b3, and knight on c5. And because we have a pawn on a5, black cannot play b6. So it's all positional. Essentially, if I repeat that, white wants to install a knight on c5. But having the pawn on a5, you cannot chase that knight away. So that's very positional. And that bishop here, just like in the previous game, it's kind of controlling that diagonal, but it's not attacking anything. So that bishop is not great. And that knight is going to go to c5. And we go back in the game. And now, what did Ding Liren play? Knight c5. Once again, that bishop here is not targeting anything. That knight here doesn't have anywhere to go. Cannot go here, cannot take here, cannot take there, cannot go to b4. So this is a clear domination by white. This knight is weak. This bishop is weak. That bishop here doesn't play yet, but that knight is very strong. Now the game went on, and in this position here, Ding Liren find a killer. First, he looked at queen c7, but black would defend here because you're gonna try to come to g5. That would be one idea, to try to defend, or you can try to bring the knight back. But instead, d5 first was a decisive move. a2, trying to promote queen c7. Now I'm threatening queen g6 check, followed by checkmate. So king h7 played, knight g6, threatening on g7, rook g8. And now black is trying to get things under control, threatening to take here and promote. But this is white to play. And queen f7 wins the game. And black resign. Why is that? Well, if you take like that, I have a back rank. Checkmate. Beautiful stuff. What if I don't do anything and I try to bring back the queen? Then I do check. Check. No matter where the king goes, if the king goes to h7, checkmate. If you go to f7, checkmate. So last move of the game, queen f7, threatening, winning by checkmate and rook a8 next. Now, black and queen. Then I do rook a1. And here, no matter what happened, you do it all over again. And here, on the next move, if the king goes to f7, you finish with rook f8, checkmate. And the king goes to h7, you finish with rook h8, checkmate. So here, the winning move, once again, calculated by Ding Liren in advance, queen f7, with the deadly threat of finishing by a checkmate due to the back rank weakness. So this shows that both players can be very strong and they have good and bad days. And I would say the quality of the match is not as high as when Magnus Carlsen were playing, but because it's such a back and forth, the championship match is exciting because really they trade blows. However, I would say that Magnus Carlsen made a lot less mistakes. Even when he was on the highest stage, he was able to maintain a higher quality of play. So was Kramnik and Kasparov. So I would say very entertaining match, but the level is certainly lower than the previous championships. And I'll see you in the next one.